What is up and welcome to No Cap MMA. Today we have some exciting news. As we all know, Josh Emmett's opponent, Giga Chikadze, had to pull out due to an injury to his groin. Sucks to be him. But now we have an official replacement. It is going to be Bryce Mitchell. After word of there's some speculation because Aljamain Sterling potentially hinted that he would be doing that fight, Diego Lopez, they've decided to go with Bryce Mitchell. And that's a fight, makes more sense. Both guys are ranked, and I think this would be a really fun fight. But more so if it goes the way I think it's going to go, because, Bryce Mitchell could just wet blanket it. But it's an interesting stylistic matchup. It's a completely different opponent than Giga Chikadze. I don't think Josh Emmett was expecting any wrestling from that front, so now he's dealing with a heavy pressure grappler as opposed to just a pure kickboxer. So this is definitely a dangerous fight for him. I do think my initial leaning is I'm going to be going with Josh Emmett by KO. I think he just had more time to train. Bryce Mitchell's taking this on very short notice, and he took damage in his last fight against Dan Ige. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he get his eye busted up a little bit? I know he got cut. So he's definitely took some damage, and we don't know how good his cardio will be because his cardio has been kind of sus. It definitely let him down against Ilia Topuria. And Josh Emmett is dangerous, man. I know he's on a 2-fight losing skid, but against very dangerous guys, against Yair Rodriguez, who he had moments he hurt Yair in the first round pretty badly, and then Yair tuned him up to the body and then submitted him with a triangle. But, he held his own that first round, and Ilia Topuria absolutely beat him up. But Josh Emmett was still in his face trying to make it happen, so he's not going to quit on himself, and he still has scary power. I think his stand-up skill is definitely better than Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell has power in his hands. He was able to drop Edson Barboza. He dropped Bobby Moffitt, I believe, back in the day. And so he has power, but at the same time, I think it's because people are either worried about the grappling or not expecting it. But I think skill-wise, in terms of the stand-up technique, Josh Emmett is better. He's got better movement. He's quicker. And he also is a good wrestler. He's a wrestler first. So it'll be interesting to see how he's going to deal with Bryce Mitchell's grappling, because Bryce Mitchell will not stop. He will try to get it to the floor anytime he can. But I think Josh Emmett is just going to have good takedown defense. We haven't really seen him get out grappled. He got taken down by Ilia Topuria in the last round, and he wasn't really expecting that. So, but you never know with Bryce Mitchell, because he is a relentless pursuer of the takedown. He will not stop. He will shoot 20 takedowns in a 3-round fight if he has to. But he also lately has not been doing a lot of damage on the ground, and I just think he's going to be too open initially against a ready Josh Emmett trying to get back in there, back in the win column. Although, it would be funny if Bryce Mitchell won and went on one of his tirades right before the pay-per-view starts. That's a good way to sell people to buy the pay-per-view. So, that definitely would be funny. I wouldn't mind seeing that, but I just think Josh Emmett's going to be too big, too strong, too powerful, and I think he will knock him out. That's my initial thoughts, but yeah, I'm just glad they're able to keep Josh Emmett on, because that was a big fight on the prelims. That was the main prelim, and that card is still stacked from top to bottom. You want to make sure that you just keep those prelims as great as they initially were, and I think losing Josh Emmett would definitely hurt it a bit. So while I was definitely looking forward to Josh Emmett versus Giga Chikadze, him fighting Bryce Mitchell is definitely exciting, and I am looking forward to that match. And yeah, tough for Giga. I was hoping he'd be active. He came back this year against Alex Caceres. You know, he took a long time off after that beating he took against Calvin Kattar, and was hoping to see him get a little more active, but he actually said too he was ready for like a month later to rebook the Josh Emmett fight. So potentially he could still just get the winner of this fight. So whoever wins this one, maybe they do that a little bit down, maybe like 4 months down the line or something like that. Because, yeah, that's a great... Either way, I'd like to see Giga versus Josh, or Bryce Mitchell wins. Giga versus Bryce would be an interesting one. Because let's see how Giga could handle that wrestling. And how could Bryce handle that elite striking of Giga. So, yeah, that's big news. I'm glad they were able to make it. And, yeah, UFC 296, that's looking like that could be one hell of a card. We are ending the year strong. And I cannot wait to watch it. Well, that's all I got. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments what you guys think of this matchup. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.